Good morning. We are going to do a more in-depth flute review today from one of the flutes from my collection. This little beauty is made by Joe Loftin. I will give all the contact information. It doesn't have websites or anything like that, but I will give the contact information below this video in the description box. Cool flute, cool flute. This one is in the key of F sharp. It's the fourth octave on a piano. Has an oval bore. It's only about like 3/4 of an inch high and about a little over an inch. I think it's about 1.25 inches, 1.125 wide. It feels like you're playing a very, very small flute, like maybe a higher D, something like that, because it is so small this way. This could be an optimal choice for someone that has problems with strength once your fingers get opened a little bit more. It is so relaxed. For somebody that has problems with bigger flutes, this might be the answer for you. This is made from mango. There's some beautiful grain patterns on there. The nest is made from Red Zebrawood. The block, he wasn't certain about. He says he makes a bunch of blocks and he just grabs one to put on a flute when he's ready. To me, it looks like it's probably made from Osage Orange. That would be my guess. A fairly substantial block, raised nest. The flue is in the flute body. Has a very, very large breath hole diameter, inner diameter. Again, I'll put all of the details, all the minutiae measurements down in the description box below this video. Kind of a feather pattern on a kind of a slightly angular block. The wings on the chimney do not quite go the full length of the true sound hole, but almost. With a chimney like this, you can adjust the tuning of the flute slightly, raising the pitch. You can move the block a little more towards the mouthpiece to raise the pitch. And I haven't really tried this one, but let's try moving it over the edge just slightly. We'll see if we can get a warble. just barely maybe. Kind of. It's not a real strong warble. I'm going to put it back where I like it, which is just a hair back from that edge. That's where I think, for me and my playing, that's where I like it for sound. Has tuning holes, 2 tuning holes down towards the foot end. The foot is angled, about a 45-ish degree angle. People have been put off with an angled foot on flutes, saying that the vertical type pegs on a flute rack, that they don't sit right. This one works fine. Any of the ones I've had with some kind of an angled foot end work fine for me. I haven't had a problem with that. The exception, I don't do this with a flute that has burled wood. That wood has a lot of structural changes going through it. Sometimes there are little voids. It is not as durable of a wood as something with more of a straight, natural grain is what I'm going to call that. Let's hear this. No effects, just a dry sound sample again. Beautiful sound. Give it a listen. Great sound, great sound. Has a burning, looks like a little Mustang or some type of horse down here towards the foot end. Very, very nicely done, very simple, very nicely done. I like it. The veins on the feather are burned in also. The mouthpiece is, it's kind of ovalized at the end, a little higher than I expected. And I think it's because of the raised nest portion extends almost all the way to that mouthpiece. So this, to me, it appears a little bit blocky. Works fine, and it's got a pretty wide flat area around it. Easy to use. As most flutes, I kind of rest it on my lip and bring it up, and I tend to close the upper portion of this with my lip. Controlling how much, no, making it easier to control using a little less air, and I'm able to play longer phrases that way. Joe Loftin Flutes. I believe he's in Missouri, if I remember correctly. He has won a few times. Best flute at some, I forget which flute festival it is, but I will put that information down in the description box below. And this he made for me. This was not one that he had taken to one of those flute festivals, but I can understand why his flutes tend to win those competitions. Beautiful sound, beautiful playability. On this particular flute, for me and my playing, I did slightly enlarge the tuning holes down here because for me it was playing just a tiny bit flat on that fundamental note. So I did enlarge them just a tiny bit, just barely retuned that lowest note. Everything else plays great. Haven't touched that. Now let's add some reverb and delay to the mix. Very cool, very cool. I'm not sure if this is going to show up here. He has his name burned in along with the key and the year 2023. Mango, Red Zebrawood for the raised nest. I'm pretty sure it's Osage Orange for the block. Beautiful flute. It feels like you're playing something very, very tiny with a surprisingly low voice. I don't understand how to share that the experience with you other than that. It doesn't feel like you're playing a mid-sized flute. It feels like I'm playing a very, very tiny flute, except the holes are a little bit spaced a little bit further apart. Very comfortably spaced. Beautiful flute. Very even sounding throughout the range is what I am experiencing on this. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching today. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe. There's a little bell down there that you can click on so that you can be notified next time I post a video. Could be taking a look at a different flute from my collection. Could be taking a first look at one of the flutes that I receive or some other piece of musical gear that I receive. It could be a music video where the Native American style flute gets the spotlight shown on it. It could be solo by itself, could be with other flutes, it could be with many other types of instruments as well. Could be a tutorial on how to play the Native American style flute. Easiest melodical instrument in the world to learn the basics on and be able to play, as long as you stick to, in the beginning, a smaller size flute. Usually A is the key that is recommended. A minor is what many people call those. The holes are slightly closer together on most A flutes than they would be on an F sharp. Playing the flute is all about breath control. It doesn't take a lot of breath. It's not something that people with that struggle with breathing, you can play short little passages. Just 1 or 2 note passages and make it sound beautiful. It doesn't have to be a big long musical phrase. It's finger accuracy, so the shorter flutes make it so that you don't have to reach for the finger holes. Beautiful sound. Anyone can play them virtually, and they're just a joy to hear and to be able to play your own music. I want to thank you again for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care.